Shalom and welcome to the book of Proverbs. We're in Ezekiel chapter 23. So open your Bibles and follow along. Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 1. The word of Adonai came to me, human being. There were two women, daughters of the same mother, who were whores in Egypt. Even as young girls, they were whores. There they let their breasts be caressed, and there their virgin nipples were fondled. Their name was Ohola, and the other was Oholiva, her sister. They belonged to me, and they gave birth to sons and daughters. As for their name, Shamron is Ohola, and Jerusalem is Oholiva. Even when she belonged to me, Ohola prostituted herself. She lusted after her lovers from Ashur, warriors dressed in blue, governors, rulers, all of them good-looking young men riding on horsebacks. She gave herself as a whore to them, all of them, the elite of Ashur, and she defiled herself with all the idols of everyone she lusted after. She did not give up the whoring she had begun in Egypt, where men had sex with her, fondling her virgin nipples, and flooded her with her fornication. 9. So I handed her over to her lovers, the men of Ashur she lusted after. They exposed her private parts, took her sons and daughters, and put her to death with the sword, so that she became notorious among women for her judgments executed against her. Her sister Oholiva said this, nevertheless was a whore. Then her sister is lusting and likewise in whoring. She lusted after the men from Ashur, governors and rulers, warriors, dressed with perfection, skilled horsemen, all of them good-looking young men. I saw that she had defiled herself. Both sisters had gone down the same path. She prostituted herself more than ever because she saw wall carvings of men depicting the costume in vermilion, with sashes wrapped around their waists and flowing turbans on their heads, all of them looking like military men, the very image of men of Babel born in the land of the costume. The moment she saw them, she lusted after them and sent messengers to them in the land of costume. And the men of Babel climbed into her love bed and defiled her with their lust. She was defiled by them and then filled with revulsion at them. Thus did she reveal her fornication and expose her private parts. When this happened, I was filled with revulsion at her, just as I had been filled with revulsion after her sister. So she kept increasing her whoring, remembering the days when she was young, fornicating in the land, increasing her whoring, remembering the days when she was young, fornicating in the land of Egypt. Yes, she lusted after their male prostitutes, whose members are like those of donkeys, and who ejaculate like stallions. You yearned after the lewdness of your girlhood, when the Egyptians used to fondle her nipples and caress your young breasts. 22. Therefore, O Holiva, here is what Adonai Elohim says. I will raise up your lovers against you and ones who fill you with revulsion and bring them against you from every side, the men of Babel and all the Custom, Pekah, Shoah, and Koah, and with them all the men of Ashur, good-looking young men, all of them governors and rulers, commanders and officers, all on horseback. They will advance on you armed with chariots, wagons, and with an army drawn from many peoples. They will array themselves against you from every side with breastplates, shields, and helmets. I will give them the authority to judge, and they will judge you as they see fit. I will direct them jealously against you, so that they will deal with you in fury. They will cut off your nose and ears, and what is left of you will die by the sword. That will seize their sons, that will seize your sons and daughters, and those who remain of you will be consumed by the fire. They will strip you of your clothes and seize your fine jewels. Thus I will put an end to your lewdness and your fornication, because from the land of Egypt, so that you will no longer raise your eyes toward them, or remember Egypt anymore. For this is what Adonai Elohim says, I am about to hand you over to those you hate, to those who fill you with revulsion, and they will deal with you in hatred, seize everything you have worked for, and leave you naked and exposed. The full shame of your whoring will be exposed. Your lewdness and your fornication, those things will be done to you because you have gone fornicating with the nations, and because you are defiled with your idols. You walk down your sister's path, so I will put her cup in your hand, says Elohim, in your hand. Adonai Elohim says, you drink from your sister's cup, a cup of both deep and wide, full right up to the brim with scorn and derision, filling you with drunkenness and sorrow, a cup of horror and devastation, the cup of your sister Shamron. You will drink it, you will drain it, and then you will gnaw at it. 34 again. You will drink it, and you will drain it, and then you will gnaw it to shred and tear out your own breast, for I have spoken it, says Adonai Elohim. 35. Therefore, this is what Adonai Elohim says. Because you forgot me and flung me behind your back, you will bear the guilt of your lewdness and whoring. Then Adonai said to me, human being, you are ready to judge Oholah and Oholiba. Then confront them with their disgusting practices, for they committed adultery and their hands are dripping with blood. They committed adultery. They committed adultery with the idols and they offered their sons whom they bear to me. For the idols they to eat. Moreover, they have done this to me as well. They defiled my sanctuary in the same day, and they profaned my Shabbats. For after killing their children for their idols, they came the same day into my sanctuary to profane it. This they did in my house. 40. Worse still, you sent a messenger summoning men to come from a distance, and they came. For then you washed yourself, painted your eyes, decked yourself with your finery, and sat on a sumptuous bed with a table arranged before it, on which you put my incense and my olive oil. The noise of the carefree crowd could be heard there. Many of the men were brought in drunk from the desert. They put bracelets on her hands and magnified crowns on on their heads. They thought, that woman, she's worn out from all her adulteries, but they still go to fornicate with her. For everyone went into her, just as men go into the prostitute, so they send into Ohola and Oholiba those debauched women. Nevertheless, there are righteous men who will judge them as adulteresses and murderers are supposed to be judged, because they are adulterers and blood is dripping from their hands. For here is what Adonai says. Summon an assembly to punish them, give them over to terror and plunder. Let the assembly stone them to death, dispatch them with their swords, kill their sons and daughters, and burn their houses to the ground. Thus I will put an end to lewdness in the land, so that all women may be taught not to imitate your lewdness. You will receive the punishment your lewdness deserves, and you will pay the penalty for your idolatries. Then you will know that I am Adonai Elohim. Chapter 24, verse 1. The word of Adonai came to me on the 10th day of the 10th month of the 9th year. Human being, write down today's date, because on this very day the king of Babel has begun his attack on Jerusalem. And tell this allegory to these rebels. Say that Adonai Elohim says, put a pot on the fire, put it there, put water in it, put in the pieces of meat, all the best parts, the thigh and the shoulder, fill it with the choicest cuts. Taken from the pig of the flock, and pile the bones underneath. Bring it to a rolling boil till it's all cooked, even the bones. Therefore Adonai Elohim says, woe to the city drenched with blood, to the pot whose scum is in it, and whose scum has not been removed. Empty it piece by piece without troubling to draw lots, for her blood is still in her. She poured it on bare rocks. She did not pour it on the ground, but cover it with dust. So in order to arouse my fury and excite my vengeance, I have fixed her blood there on the bare rock, where it will not be covered. Therefore, Adonai Elohim says, woe to the city drenched with blood. I myself will make a huge bonfire, heap on the wood, light it, cook the meat, and add the spices. The bones can just be burned. Put the empty pot on the coals, heat it till its copper bottoms glow, till its impurity melts inside it, and its scum is burned away. But the effort is in vain. Its layers of scum will not leave it. So into the fire with the scum, because of your filthy lewdness, because you refuse to be purified when I wanted to purify you. Now you will not be purified from your filth until I have satisfied my fury on you. 14. I, Adonai, have spoken it, and it will happen. I will do it. I will not turn back. I will not refrain or spare or relent. They will judge you as your ways and deeds deserve, says Adonai Elohim. 15. The word of Adonai came to me, human being, with a single blow I am about to deprive you of the delight of your eyes. But you are not to lament, weep, or let your tears run down. Sigh silently. Don't observe mourning for the dead. Bind the turban on your head. Put your sandals on your feet. Don't cover your upper lip. And don't eat the food people prepare for mourners. I spoke to the people in the morning and the evening. In the evening, my wife died, so I did the following morning as I had been ordered. The people asked me, won't you tell us what this action of yours means for us? I answered, the word of Adonai came to me, telling me to speak to the house of Israel and say that this is what Adonai Elohim says. I am to profane my sanctuary, the pride of your strength, the delight of your eyes, and your heart's desire. Your sons and your daughters whom you have left behind will die by the sword. But you are to do as I have done, not cover your upper lips, not eat the food people prepare for mourners. Put your turbans on your head and your sandals on your feet, and neither observe mourning nor cry. Rather, because of your crimes, you will pine away and groan to one another. Thus, Ezekiel will be a sign of you. You will do just what he has done, and when this happens, you will know that I am Adonai Elohim. 25. As for you, human being, on the day when I take away from them the stronghold, that crowning joy, their delight of their eyes, their heart's desire, their sons and daughters, on that day a fugitive will come and bring you the news, and on that day your mouth will be open for you to speak to the survivors, and no longer be silent. In this way you will be a sign to them, and they will know that I am Adonai. This concludes the reading of Ezekiel 23 and 24. May Yah bless you and keep you. May Yah shine his light upon your path. May he lead you into his righteousness and truth, and fill you with his shalom. May it never go out. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Until next time, in the reading of Book of Proverbs, we wish you shalom.